everyone, it's Mike here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So the sun's out today. Both the boys, the fur babies, are sat outside on the garden furniture, sunning themselves in the warmth. So while they're quiet, I thought I'd sneak off upstairs and do a little bit of arting. Okay, so while the boys are asleep, I thought I would just take this opportunity just to sit down and have a quick play, a bit of an impromptu play really. I've got piles of bits and pieces on my desk here, and I just thought, you know what, I need to start using up some of these bits. So this is the kind of pile that I've got. I'm going to try and create something with today. So I've got a set of the Dragonflies, the MDF set. This one I couldn't use to sell because the hearts were missing for some strange reasons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of the big Dragonflies. I'm still on my butterfly ban for the year. That's how easy they are to pop out. Look, did you see that? Literally just pop the nail, couple of the little Dragonflies. And that's it. They just literally fall out. Easy as that. So I've got one of those, one of the large ones and two of the small Dragonflies from the Dragonfly set. Now I've also already pre-popped out all of the barn stars, and I've put them in a bag so that I don't lose them. So what I want to try and do is just use some of these smaller ones today. If I can less than somebody eating in the cinema, isn't it? Sound of the rattle. So these are the barn stars as well. So they're, some of them are quite large. That's my hand. And some of them are quite small. Good variety of sizes in the pack, even if I do say so myself, but I'm slightly biased for obvious reasons. Right, so let's get rid of that. So I'll put that down on the floor there, out of the way, so it's not taking up space. I've got this specimen label, which is not ready for release just yet, but I'll explain what that is in the next couple of weeks or so. This is a new set for, or one item for a new set for next month. Our friend at Indigo Blue are already expressed an interest in having these as well, so we'll just wait and see. Right, so that's for that. So I've got the stars for the barn stars, and I've also got some of the Carte Noire. These are the Baroque swirls. So two in the pack. Those are the two you get in the pack. I'm going to use both of those for the background, but I want to do them so that they're on opposite sides. So I'm going to use the black side and the white side. I'm going to paint them both the same colour, but I just want those as that kind of nice kind of Baroque feel in the background. But might even just move that up slightly, just so there's a little bit of room at the bottom. So first thing that I need to do is I'm going to glue these down. Oh, by the way, this is one of the tags from the big tag set. So you get two of these tags and two of the hole reinforcers in the set as well. So these are already on the website and available too. So let's get cracking before the dogs wake up. So let's just get a little bit of glue. They'll be wanting to go out for the WALK soon. So what I might have to do is just get as much down on here as I possibly can. And that's the best way to centre up on the hole, is to push a pencil through and that'll centre it up for you. So dab on the back. You don't really need a lot of glue on these the Carte Noire pieces. Because they are thick cardstock. So let's take that right up there. Just twist it around a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to lap that one on the opposite side. On the black side. Now both sides will take paint and colour really well, so don't worry about that. Like I said before, I have been asked how these react to inks and stuff. Well, because they are card in exactly the same way as other cardstocks do. Okay, and then next, let's stick this label plate down, or specimen label as I'm calling them. And that can go down there at the bottom, just in the middle, just like that. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let that sit just for a little while so that the glue goes off, it dries a little bit before I add any colour or paint. So what I might do is I might just work out my composition while that's going. Star there. Let's put a star there. And another one just about there. I think I'll stick those two down later, but that one can go down now. And PVA glue, just bog standard white school glue, craft glue. I'm using Elmer's School, which is more than adequate for sticking any of this stuff down. And you really don't need a huge amount. And then we'll stick a little one just in there. And then we can add our other dragonflies. When we're done, does it actually need those? Do you know what? I don't know whether it does. I think maybe only the one. Does it? Does it though? I'll decide later. Right, like I said, let me just let those grab for the top. That's already grabbed already. Let me just leave that to dry for a minute and then I'll be right back. All right, so I've gone and made myself a cup of coffee, and in the time that it's taken me to do that, everything's kind of gripped in place where it should be. So I have decided where those dragonflies are going to go. I am going to use all three. Let me just move that coffee out of the way because I'm going to end up knocking it over, knowing me. Yes, definitely. Right, I've got some black gesso. So I've just had to add some water to it because mine's really old. And I've been kind of extending the life of it and just as I started to do it, I thought I must remember just to ask Ian just to bring some more home, so I've just sent him a message, seeing as he's with Indigo Blue today. Right, so all I'm going to do is just go over everything with the black gesso. Now you can paint everything first. There's no issues with doing that. People like to do their little textured mixed media pieces in different ways. Some people like to paint first, some people like to glue down and paint in situ. It depends on the mood, if I'm honest, which way I want to do it. So I have no kind of set way of kind of doing it. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in, and today I'm just in the mood for doing it in situ. So gesso, if you don't know, if there's anybody who's new, is like a primer paint. It has a little bit of a chalky finish, so it's going to be a matte finish, but because it has a chalky finish, it will give you a real flat matte, but it also provides you with a really good surface, a tooth in which to add other colours, just like you would do if you were priming any other kind of surface before painting. It just enables the paint to have something to grab onto, to grip. Call it a tooth, like a sawtooth. So if you imagine the way that sawtooth grabs the wood as it's cutting through. And that's probably the easiest kind of description to give it if you've never come across it before. Yeah, it provides that pull, that grip. Okay, so that's that top section. And as you can see, I'm adding the gesso, and it's not affected that card, the texture pieces, in any way. It's not lifted it. Let me just grab a pencil just so I can hold it down. I know some people were worried that because of the moisture content it would delaminate and lift, but it's not. I'm happy to report. Okay, so a bit of a repetitive process. I've done most of it now. So what I'll do is I'll go away and finish it all off, and then I'll be back again when I've had a look at what I've done, and I'll see if there's any gaps, any obvious places where I've missed, and I'll fill those in, and I'll join with you again when we're at the next stage. So as you can see, everything's now pretty much dry. If I just tilt that, you should be able to see. Some of it has dried shiny, but that's probably because of the glue and stuff underneath. I have already gone ahead and painted the dragonflies with that black gesso too, so we've got a matte base in which to go ahead of. So I've got out my Luscious powders, because what I'm going to try and do, using the gilding gum, I'm going to use the gilding gum with the Luscious powders to give this a kind of metallic, nice, lovely, kind of colourful background. Well, that's the plan anyway. Right, so I've got to choose which colours that I'm going to use. And I've got to decide, so let me have a little think, and then I will be right back, and then I'll show you what colours I've chosen. All right, so obviously I'm falling back true to type, because I'm sticking with a kind of steampunky palette. So out of the Luscious powders, I've got the Verdigris. Yum yum. I have Grungy Gold. We have Penny Dreadful, which obviously is the copper. And then I have a blue kind of teal, which will also give us that kind of verdigris, kind of patina effect. Okay, so first thing, let's do the darker colours first. So the verdigris, which has got a touch of kind of green to it, like a coppery green. And we're not going to need a huge amount of this. Ooh, look at that. So that's leaked out over couple of weeks, or since the last time I used it. Right, hope there's enough left. Oh, absolutely, plenty. Right, so I'll just put a little bit of the gilding gum onto my brush, and then I'm just going to lift out the colour, and then I can just mix it. Just like so. Now the gilding gum looks milky and white, but actually dries completely clear and glossy. Alright, so when I start to use this now, you'll see the colour start to show through. So this is just my background colour. Can you see that green, that kind of shimmering green? So this will be my base coat. It's like magic. I can't remember the last time I did a 3D project like this. Definitely due. Definitely due. Beautiful kind of green patina, and this is the reason why it's called verdigris, because you've got that lovely kind of green patina in there. Remember, this is just a base coat for me to start off with. Loving it already. Look at that. And it doesn't take long to dry at all. Just a few kind of minutes. In fact, it's already dry. All right, so now we're going to add some gold highlights. So I'm going to use some of that grungy gold. Just tap it back down into the tub. Just clean off the brush. Still got some of the gilding gum there. So because my brush is wet, I'm all right just to go straight in and pick up some of the colour. No cross-contamination. And there's plenty of that gold there now. So now I can come in and start adding some of that gold. Grab a little bit more. Just make it a little bit thicker. I just love the texture. And then we'll just start to just lightly dry brush over the raised areas. So that's just going to pick up on the swirls hoping the camera's picking this up. Look at the shine, look at the shine. So I don't think I mentioned, the big tags are 4 inches by 8 inches, in case you're wondering. Like I said, you get 2 tags and 2 of those hole reinforcers in the set. Okay, happy with that. So what I'm going to do is just put those to one side for now, and then I'm going to bring in those dragonflies. I'm just going to give the dragonflies just a light going over on the wings. Just leave the body dark for now. Just using what's left on the worktop, and then I'll just do the same with the large dragonfly. Actually, I think we'll go the whole lot with the dragonfly, the big one. And that's moving on its own. I'm just trying to pick up the gold off the worktop, nothing else. There are remnants of that verdigris still there, but that's fine. But I'm not trying to get like an even matte colour all over. That just won't do. Right, so we'll let those dry for a second. I'll have a quick tidy and clean up, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so everything's had a little bit of time to dry. I know. Look at that colour. And so have the dragonflies. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix a little bit of the Penny Dreadful, which is the copper colour. Yum yum. Just a little. So I'm just going to dip in like so. Just mix it on my mat. And then I'm going to get a dry brush up the body and on the head. Try not to get too much on the wings, but I will get just some in the middle, other side of the heart. So just a light smattering. And I'll do the same thing for the smaller dragonflies. So I'm just going to move up and down and just diffuse it slightly from the body. Here we go. Like I said, you don't really need a huge amount because it goes a long way. Okay, now then, shall I just add a little bit of copper just on the stars, just for a little bit of variation. Caught a little bit too much there, I think. Maybe just a little bit. On that label, just to give it a little bit of a two-tone. Love it. Okay, so again, I'll just need a quick wipe up of that copper. Try not to get too much of it into the gilding that's already on my desktop, because we don't want to waste that. So a quick clear. There we go. If there's a little bit there, it doesn't matter. It's not project critical. Okay, so now let's have a look at this teal. Just give my brush a wash. All right, batteries on my phone's telling me it's a little bit low on power. All right, so what I want to try and do is try and mix up a fairly thickish mixture of the teal. So I think this will have some silvery undertones, which is going to be a nice kind of contrast to the coppers and the golds. There we go. So let's try, I don't want too much on the brush. I'm just going to quickly oh yes. So I'm starting off and then just going in, just basically catching the edges. But because we've got that gold underneath, it gives us a little bit of a nice base. Look at that. Oh, let's do the same thing with these little beauties. So I'll just start off. I'm just turning the brush around just in case there's more on one side than the other. Trying to keep it, so make sure that the camera stays in focus. Has it got autofocus on? Probably. Let me just take it off. How's that? I'm hoping that's in focus. Okay, next one. Turn round. Like I said, don't mind if there's a little bit of the gold showing through. Love it. Okay, and then I want to take a little bit of that blue while it's still a little bit wet, and then just add just some kind of hints of it in the background, just as a kind of nod to some patina. It never hurts just to introduce another colour. As long as you do it sparingly. Hello, Mr. Bentley. Doggies must have woken up, which means it may be WALK time. Alright, like I said, I'm not going mad with it. Alright, so I'll have a quick tidy up, a quick clean up. I'll try and keep that again because I still need that, and then I'll be right back and I'll just see whether Mr. Bentley needs to go out for a wee. Back in a moment. Alright, so the last thing that I want to do is just to add a little bit of iridescence to the wings of these dragonflies. So I have two more Luscious powders here. I've got violet cast and green cast. So these are, well, they're clear, but they do have a little, can you just see the colour? Just picking up, there's a green one on that side on the right, and a violet cast to it just on that left hand side. And these are kind of like interference or iridescent powders. So they look completely clear until you actually mix them with a little bit of the gilding gum. So let's just dip a little bit of that in there. And then you can see on the worktop, I'm hoping you can see the green cast colour coming through. So what I want to try and do is maybe just try and add a little bit of that interference pattern just from about there. So you can see the green just showing through. Grab some more, make it a little bit thicker. That certainly is a bit stronger there. Okay, so let's bring it further in. And then do the same thing here, just lightly. Just got the head there a little bit. That's okay. Nothing we can't remedy. And again, just lightly. And I'm just gently kind of like diffusing it back. And then I'll just give it a brush a quick wash. And then put the green to one side, and now I'm going to bring out the violet on this side. So let's pick some up on the brush. Now you can see that pinky kind of hue there for definite. Okay, so I just have to be very careful. and just add a little bit at the end. So we've got all those different colours on the wings. We'll do the same thing just here. Just add a little bit just in there and just right in the middle. I think I might just go across the body a little bit. There we go. So we've got a beautiful kind of iridescent green and the blues, and then a little bit of kind of that pink just showing up just in the middle. Maybe just go up the head. Just like that. Love it. Okay, like I said, don't need a lot. So again, let me have a quick clean up, tidy up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so the final touch is just going to be to add the dragonflies where I want to put them. So I'm going to put that one right in the middle there. This one, I'm going to put a little bit of glue just on the body and just a touch on the tail, way too much there. Flip that round and I want that coming up just off that star there. And then, oh, it's Mr. Bentley again. Hello, darling. He's let himself out. The back door's open. It's a nice warm day today, so he's let himself out into the garden. Put that dragonfly there. And then the main dragonfly just there. I'll just add some glue around just so that wherever it touches, it'll just help to grab. And then we'll just drop that down in the middle, about there. There we go. I'm happy with that, happy with the way it looks. I'm happy with the way the light is catching everything. I've got that real nice kind of iridescence in the background. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me create this little bit of a 3D art tag today. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up because it really does help me and really does help support the channel. Don't forget you can share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. That's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very soon. Bye for now. like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.